Hi everybody, it's Tracy from Downward Dog Rising. I'm just going to give you a little stretch workout for the end of your day in case you feel like you need just a little bit of motion, not a lot, just a little. So with that being said, if you grab your mat, get comfortable and join me. So we're going to begin sitting with legs crossed at ankles and Sukhasana. I want you to root down through the bottom of the pelvis, equal weight across each half of it. Inhale. Bring that energy up the spine. Hands to heart center. Anjali Mudra. 2 more times. Going to have you reach up. And then exhale. Just ground and center yourself on the mat. 1 more time. Breathing in. And exhale, centering yourself. Hands at heart center. We're going to take one hand to one side of our knee. Gently lift the other arm overhead. I'm just going to have you push against your knee a little bit. Do a little rotation. Look over your shoulder. Come into the center. Lengthen up. Place hand on knee. And then you're just going to gently press against that knee just a little bit. A little higher than the knee joint actually, so you don't put pressure directly on it. Just get a little rotation in your spine. And then return back to the center. I'm going to have you take your hands, interlace your fingertips, and just gently open the space between your 2 shoulder blades, middle back. Then we're going to inhale, stretch upwards through our spine. And then exhale, bring space in between those blades. Breathing in. And gently exhale. 1 more time, breathing in. And gently exhale. Feel space open up between those shoulder blades. Come back up. Okay, now this time, place left hand on mat. Reach right arm up to sky. Want you to just slowly lengthen all the way to the top of your head before you stretch to the side. Keep your pelvis grounded into the mat. Feel that whole side lengthen and open up. Breathing in and breathing out. Stretching upwards. Going to take that other arm down by your side. Lengthen up through your spine here. Rooting down as you lengthen all the way up. Keep that hip on the mat so it doesn't go with you. Open that whole side up. Open up that side line to create space for your spine. Gently come back up. I want you to do something for stability of your spine and pelvis. So from here, I'm going to have you do some bridging. So neutral bridge. We're just going to take it all the way down to our mat. Our knees are going to fold in. You don't want your heels all the way into your glutes. Give yourselves like a little couple inches between your heels and your glutes. Come all the way down. And then I'm going to have you float your arms up just straight above your shoulders. So you have your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. Now if you could just lift up your shoulder blades. We're going to do this a few times. We're just going to protract, retract our shoulder blades. Shoulder blades slaps. They lift off the mat. They reconnect. They lift up and then they reconnect. I want to make some room in your thoracic spine, mid-back. They lift up. They lower down. Breathing in, breathing out. Next, we're going to screw in the light bulb. I want you to get your arm bones deeper down into your shoulder socket. Rotate thumbs out. Rotate thumbs in. Pull the blades to mat up. out. That's screwing in the light bulb. In, down. Up and out. In and down. 4 more. Up and out. In and down. 3 more. And 2. Keep lengthening head away from tailbone on the mat. Make your spine do that axial elongation. It lengthens in opposition. Now think of little strings, pulling your fingertips long. Reach your arms down by your sides. Gently tilt chin to sky. Tilt chin to front of neck. Couple little chin nods. Release at the base of the skull. Up and down. Tiny little circles with tip of nose to sky. Baby little circles. Second cervical vertebra, or just releasing tension. Opposite way. Tiny little nose circles. Come back center. All right, find your neutral spine. How do you do that? Your 2 hip bones are here. You're going to do a pelvic tilt. We're going to call that a posterior tilt as your low back comes close to the mat. Anterior tilt as your pelvis rolls forward away from the mat. Posteriorly, it tilts into the mat. Anteriorly, it tilts away from the mat. 4, just warm up your back. Tilting hips back and forth. And 3, tightening core into the spine. Then you release. 2, scoop in tight. And last one, find your midway range between those 2 points, right in the center. Think of those 2 hip points narrowing together all the way across pelvis. Now I want you to feel like your glutes turn on. That way you don't cramp up the back of your leg. Spine is long. I want you to exhale. Keep elongating your tailbone away from your breastbone, and then just place your pelvis straight back to the mat. So you're going to tighten abdominals all the way into your spine. Think of elongation. Press hips to sky. Feel the front of those thighs lengthen. Energy line past knees, past toes, and then just bring your pelvis straight back to the mat. So you're going to exhale, lift up, width across shoulders, chest, no weight in neck. Standing on your shoulder blade shelf. Bring the pelvis straight back to the mat. Collarbones wide. You want to be in a position where you're not looking to the side. You want to just be able to see right to where your screen is so you don't do anything to your neck. Weight is through shoulder blades, mid-back. Make sure your pelvis hits at the same moment. Think of those knees in alignment with the hip sockets so they don't splay out. Knees are over, second toes. Ready? 5 more. Really stretch that tailbone away from your breastbone. 4 more. So you're just going to go straight up, straight down. 3 more. Exhale. 2 more. Keep the hips aligned. This part of the back stays elongated. 1 more time. Okay, I want you to do a really deep inhale. Feel the ribs laterally expand. Then I want you to release your sternum, your breastbone. Release the tension so the area between your 2 blades connects into the mat. Exhale. Breathing in. Exhale. You might get a little pop here or there. Breathing in. Exhale. All the way down your spine. Into the tailbone. So you're going to curl up. We wouldn't do this if there's hardware in the back where you don't want your vertebra to pull apart. You would only do this if you're okay with having mobility in your spine. Inhale, soften through your sternum, your breastbone. Let the air out. Breathing in. Exhale. Control. All the way through each section of your back. Let's do 2 more like that. We're going to peel up bone by bone. Try to use the inhales and exhales to move on. 1 more. Go in between each rib. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Work your way up. Width across shoulders, chest. All the way down. Feel that elongation. All right. So now that your pelvis is down on the mat, we're going to do Ananda Balasana, which is happy baby. That helps create openness in the hips. So you're going to bend one leg in. You're going to bend the other leg in. Basically, your shin, your knee is going to align over your ankle. And then we're going to drop, we're going to grab the edges of our feet. And we're going to slowly bring those knees wider. So essentially, you're lining up your shin, your knee, your shin, your ankle. And you're just going to slowly draw those knees out towards the sides, coming towards the floor. And allow the back of the pelvis to widen into the mat under your body. It's like the two hip points narrow together in the front, widening into the back of the pelvis. Just gently drawing those knees out to the sides. If it's comfortable, you can do a little rock side to side, cross your low back. Just returning to the center. Just allow that low back to just drop into the mat. One more deep inhale. And exhale. All right. Next, extend your legs straight up into the air. And then I'm going to have you just gently drop one leg straight to the mat. Keep one leg up in the air. Nod chin slightly forward. Now I'm going to have you really tighten your core to your spine and do little scissors where the back of the neck is long. You wouldn't do this with osteoporosis. You would just keep spine long like that without lifting your head up. And you'd be careful how high you lift the legs to protect your hip joints. Little pulse, pulse. Abdominals, just pull really deep into your spine. Pulse, pulse, come in. Exhale, exhale, breathing in. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Spine is long. Low back is in neutral. 4 more. Narrow those 2 hip points. And 3. And 2. Good. Last one. Take one knee all the way in. Other leg long. Release your low back. Feel the front of that hip stretch. Extend that leg long. Pull the other knee in. Just let your back sink into the mat. That hip flexor is lengthened here. That low back just sinks into the mat. Okay, next, extend your leg out straight. You're going to take your right arm over your head, and then you're going to turn onto one side. So now I'm going to have you lie in a single file, long line. You're going to relax your head on your bottom arm. I want you to take your top arm, press it into the mat. Be careful that you don't hip hike. You don't want this hip hiking up into your rib cage. And you want to have a little space between the lower part of the ribs and the mat. So you have space between upper ribs, hip bone. One long line. Excuse me. One long line. My voice just went down. You're going to press your palm right into the mat like that. Then you're going to lift both legs straight up. Be careful you don't rock forward or rock your pelvis back. We need those 2 hip bones to be aligned. Lift straight up, lower down. I want to create some length in your low back. Your abdominals pull into your spine. And we're going to work those lower obliques. 7 and 6. 5. Stretch those legs far away from your center. 4 more. Create length in your low back. 3 more. And 2. Last one. Now I want you to draw your heels into a V like this. And then when your heels are in a V, I want you to bend your top knee, lift the top knee. I want you to squeeze the outside of your hip and thigh here. So neither hip is going to move. Just rotate up, rotate down. Rotate up, rotate down. I want you to get into that side of that hip. And 5, your heels are just pulling together. And 4, and 3, 2 more. Last one. Now from here, slide in your bottom elbows directly under your shoulder. Be careful you don't collapse on your shoulder. Think of a sling wrapping, hoisting your bottom rib cage up. We also want our bottom hip to come up. Careful you don't roll your shoulder forward. Keep chest open. Form a straight line across the front of your collarbones. Now I want you to just come straight up off the mat. Keep chest open, collarbones wide, sides of neck long. And I want you to feel these muscles wrapping you. And then come down again. Lift. I want to turn on your obliques. Come right back down again. Lift, your knees tighten together. Bottom ribs lift, bottom hip lifts. Come right back in again. And 6 more. Keep length down sides and neck. 5 more. We want to work our shoulder girdle. And 4. 3 more. 2 more. And last one. Now from here, take your top knee, extend it. I should say bend it, not extend it. Top knee bends. The ankle is in front of you. Your foot's flat on the mat. Now, your bottom ribs stay lifted, length on sides and neck. You're just going to have this ankle be out in front, and I want you to take your bottom leg up. We're just going to hold, lengthen it, feel your inner thigh stretch long. Now, be careful that neither one of those hip points moves. After you lengthen that leg out of your center, let's control 10 circles. Keep length. So it's not the ankle or the knee, it's the top of the thigh bone. 7, 6, keep the length. 5, 4, 3, 2, reverse it. Feel like your ribs are being wrapped around. 8, 7, and 6, and 5. Those bottom obliques are still working. 3, 2 more. Last one. Good. Now we're going to press up. From here, swing the legs around. I'm going to have you come to the other side now. Form one long line. So your bottom arm is going to go straight out to the side. You're going to extend your legs out straight. What I want you to do, make sure that you don't rock your top hip behind the bottom one, or you don't let your hips fall forward. You're going to take your arm and you're just going to press it straight against the mat. I want you to take both legs up, both legs down. Lift and lengthen. Form space between ribs and hips. Those bottom ribs lengthen off the mat. Exhale. Exhale. Lift those legs up. Want you to work your obliques. 7. Create length in your low back vertebra. 6. Spine is long. 5. And 4. Good. 3 more. Core tightens into your back. 2 more. 1 more time. All right. Okay, take your knees, bend them. Make a little V with your heels coming together. Now, I don't want neither one of those hip bones to move. It's like your inner thigh twists into that outer thigh. 8. Squeeze the side of that hip and glute. 7. 6. Tighten your core to your back. Stabilize your pelvis. 5. 4, 3, 2. Keep those hips squared. Last one. All right. Take the bottom leg out straight. Take your top leg in front. Now I just want you to lift up. My foot slid. Lift up your bottom leg, extend it. Hold it there for a moment. Sometimes it's harder to keep one foot flat on the mat because maybe that hip's tighter. Now, avoid moving either one of your hip bones. If you want, you could point your toes. The circle happens from the top of your femur bone, top of the thigh. 8. Try to keep that foot grounded. 7. 6. Lengthen that leg. Feel your inner thigh stretch. 5. Motion occurs when you're less stable on a certain side. 4. Abdominals pull through. 3. 2. Reverse for 10. Breathing in, breathing out. I'm losing my voice a little bit. It happens at the end of the day, so I apologize if my voice quivers or goes out. 8 and 7 and 6. Reach that leg far out of your center. 5 and 4. 3. Stabilize hips. 2 more. Last one. All right. Now from here, what I want you to do, you're going to slowly... That was weird. My phone fell off the tripod. Let's see. I might just end. Let me see.